Cancels 3 times and 3 reschedules, so you know, it may be a year and a half before he can get this year. I said, she can afford, she can do that. I said, I don't go that way. What do we got here?
Okay, we've got a few people on. Good evening, everyone. Hi. Okay, so make sure the recording started. Yes. So good evening. It's July 17th. Oh, wow. How the months go by so fast. So sorry for how bright the back of me is. I don't have my blinds up. We just got done painting and Mitch hasn't put them up yet for me. So it's really bright in the back of me. So sorry about that. I was thinking about what have we not really covered in a while, us as a group. And I realized that we haven't covered fundraising in a while. I have a playlist on YouTube that probably has, I mean, at least a couple dozen videos on fundraising, but they're older, they're little pieces, you know, as I do fundraisers, I like to pop on and kind of share my thoughts. So you have that resource as well, but I'm actually in middle of a fundraiser right now. Hi, Jamie. Oh my gosh, I have that shirt. Yeah. I got that at Disneyland when we went to Reunion last year. I love that shirt. Okay, so why should we do fundraising? A lot of people say that, you know, what we join Scentsy so we can make extra money, right? Absolutely. So, but one of their core values with Scentsy is generosity. And generosity is definitely one of our biggest core value in Scentsy. And so we want to show our communities what Scentsy's about. And honestly, I have to say Scentsy products are the best products for fundraising. One of the reasons why is because they're consumable. People use them on a regular basis. And so they're already buying the products regularly. So they get excited when they go, oh my gosh, I can buy Scentsy for a fundraiser. Sometimes people, I think as moms, if you're a mom or a grandparent, like we get stuck with fun people. Our kids come home with packets all the time. There's sports and you're like, oh, more stuff I have to buy that I won't use or that I don't really care to use. But when it comes to Scentsy, a high percentage of people are already buying it. And if they're not, they get introduced to an amazing product that they end up loving. So just the idea of the product is just a great sell for the fundraiser. Because a lot of the people that are going to be participating, usually the majority of the kids, I mean, if it's a kids fundraiser, the parents are going to be doing the fundraising. They're going to be taking them to school. They're going to, to work. They're going to be taking them to their nail person, their hair person, all friends and family. They're the ones that are going to be marking it on Facebook, which we highly recommend they do since we have that resource. And so they get excited when they bring this packet to these people and they're like, oh, Scentsy? Yeah, I need more bars anyways. And so it's not as scary of an approach when they come to their friends and family and acquaintances saying they're about to sell, a fundraiser when they say it's Scentsy. It's like oh, that's a relief. It's not like, oh, we're buying wrapping paper. You know what I mean? Like, so that in itself is awesome. Now, getting back to the generosity side is we love to give more than we take in Scentsy. We want the community to know that that's what Scentsy's core value is. That's what we're about as consultants. And so giving back to the community and being able to help, give a donation to whatever cause that you're going to be doing. Like, for instance, right now I'm doing a dance studio. And don't be afraid and I always suggest to make sure everybody that buys from you knows you want to do fundraisers and you're willing to do fundraisers. This specific lady that I'm doing this fundraiser with, this is the second time she's done it. The first one was in September of last year, and then she just asked me to do this one, and then she wants to do another one in September again. She was a brand new customer. I met her at my church, and she was like, she saw my car, so branding your back of your car is very important. And she said, "You sell Scentsy, right?" I'm like, "No, I just like to put my logo on the back of I was teasing her, and she starts laughing. I'm like, "Yes, of course they do." She was like, "Okay, so can I borrow your testers? I want to smell." So I knew she already kind of knew the system, like to smell the testers and this and that. So anyways, long story short, when I came to pick up the bag, I also at the time told her, see if anybody else wants to buy, hopefully we'll get you some rewards. Came back and she's like, "Well, nobody else wanted to buy this time, but I have an order to place." And she goes, "I have a lot of people that probably would want to buy, just not right now." And I was like, "Okay." And she goes, "I'm actually off to my kid's dance studio. I got to run." So I was like, "Well, you know that I do fundraisers, right?" And she's like, "No, I don't." I said, "I would love to do a fundraiser for Emily's dance studio." And she goes, "Well, those are the people that actually were saying they want to buy, just not right now." And so just by being very casual, just very, "Oh, I do fundraisers, and just, I would love to do one for you." You're basically putting the mindset is you're doing them a service, not they're doing you a service by booking a fundraiser. We want to come off to our community, our clients, that we are providing a service, providing a service as a consultant, just giving them their products, or if we're doing a fundraiser, or if we're sponsoring them to become a consultant. When you come off as, desperate, like, "Oh my gosh, I really, would you do a fundraiser for me?" It just gives them kind of the feeling of like you haven't done it a lot, or you not as professional, I'll say, just can be honest. So just, you have to try to do your best to come off with confidence. And you saw how I slipped that in there, and I said, "I'd love to do one. I'm doing you a favor." And she was like, "Really?" So we ended up booking that fundraiser. And then that's why we have another one now. So other ways to get fundraisers. My very first fundraiser I ever did, I walked myself into a daycare center. I literally I had a proposal ready. I'm gonna share my screen. I hope that I'm having some issues with I have a like a dock that I put all my files to. It's called like an airport thing, and it hasn't been working today. So I'm hoping that it will let me sign in so I can actually show you guys some visuals of what I have. It was a problem connecting to the server. Awesome. Darn it. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, yay! Oh, it worked. This is exciting. I was on training my assistant earlier, and it totally did not work. I'm like, this is not going to help. Sorry, it just takes a second to like load that data file. Okay. So I've created templates over the years. I have a ton of different things. So I try to put a file of everything that has to do fundraising in my computer. But what I do is I put together a proposal. Let me pull up my template for my proposal. This is just a basic one. I have others. I'll show you different versions. Over the years, I've added things, I've simplified them. I do customize them depending on the type of fundraiser. Sometimes you don't need a proposal. Like this type of, she was my friend, she went to my church, she really wasn't that concerned. All she really needed to know is how much percentage she was going to get, and she was fine with booking it. So that I kind of landed the jackpot. She happened to be the person that makes the decisions on the fundraising. But sometimes when you walk into a place blind, that's basically like a cold entry. Wow, that got big. I don't remember having it that big. Okay. They want to see something on paper. They want to see what's in it for me. How's this going to work? And so you could drop this off, and it basically, this is a template that I can even send to you guys. The date that it start on, checks payable to you, your name. So what you would do is you would have them write out the checks to you, and then you deposit it into your workstation. Excuse me. Oh gosh, hold on. My husband is shampoo. I'm leaving out of town tomorrow, and I just realized I don't have traveling conditioner. Sorry guys, let's see. And body wash. I told him what I needed, but now he already forgot. Okay. They will write it out to you, and then you deposit it into your bank, and then you will process it with your debit card. Now, if the organization is a nonprofit organization, you can ask them if any customers wrote out the checks to the organization. You can get their 1099 sheet, email it to Scentsy, and then they can set up the workstation as a tax-free order. Now, the only thing that won't be tax-free is online orders, because they're purchasing from Scentsy, not from the organization. So you'd have to let the organization know that you will have an online option for people out of town, but if you want them to be tax-free, they have to actually place the order through the parent or whatever over the phone or something. So I could process it. And they'll write it out to the organization, and then the organization will basically cash everything and then write you one check for everything, and then you will cash that, and then it'll be a lot more simple process for you. I probably had about, 20 checks to process, and it was a smaller fundraiser, but as I went through them, I processed them on my phone, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I put encouraged credit cards because it's just a faster process. Now that's only if it's not a nonprofit organization. I always keep that your local percentage, because if for some reason they place an order for somebody, in Texas, that's where the percentage is. And I put this is basically for you guys to know if you live in Texas or wherever, that's what the percentage is going to be, or wherever it's being shipped. So I break all this down for them, the shipping, but it's going to also be in a parent letter as well. But this kind of gives the coordinator, whoever's saying yes or no to the fundraiser, an idea of how things works. Now, this is the breakdown of the commission. Oh my gosh, my husband knows that I am. Yes. 8 years, been doing a weekly call, and he still forgets. Okay. Anyways, so this breaks it down. So anything up to $199.99 is 20%. Now, why we do 20% is I encourage you to save your extra 5% that you get for your lifetime sales to pay yourself back, because all the products that you get, your packages, as far as envelopes and flyers and just everything that you're going to be, materials you're going to need, order forms, if you choose to use regular order forms. Some people don't, they make out their own little order forms. Whatever you choose to do. I personally choose to just order the regular order forms, and I put 10 order forms in each packet. But it's whatever you want to do. You'll see there's tons of fundraising trainings on the workstation, and different people do different things. You may want to check those out too, just to see what other people do. But if you are a brand new consultant watching this and you're not certified yet, if your fundraiser gets to $1,000, you will be certified, and so you'll be able to give that 20% and save your 5%. over $2,000 any given month, which if they hit over 2,000, you are going to get a 5% sales bonus, so you can give them 25%. Now, as you start to grow your team and you start to have a sponsoring bonus, what I do for my any fundraiser that fundraises with me more than once, I end up giving them an additional 10% because I have that extra money that I get from my sponsoring bonuses. So I can give more than I can take. So I'm able to help them have more donation. That's something you can go for, that you can help even more. But I will tell you, I didn't start doing that until way years into my business. So if 20% and even 25% is definitely still a very generous donation that they're very happy with. Oh my gosh, Mitch, it's like asking me all these questions. Figure it out. Okay, I hope that's good enough. All right, so this breaks down if 25 people sell, which means 25 packets, sell $60, you make $375 on your 20%. And then it just breaks down. If they sell $100 each, they'll get 25%. This is what their donation will be. So I would always goal each packet a minimum of $200. Honestly, it's when you are fundraising, the $200 adds up so fast. I honestly, this fundraiser, because everybody's out of town, it's not really a normal fundraising type of season. The spring, I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packets back, and they sold over like $2,500. So why did I say that? Oh, so you definitely want to at least give them a goal of 200, and most of them sold over $500. So let's see. And then just kind of ideas that we have anywhere from $3. Well, we even could put $2 for light bulbs. If I had somebody buy just light bulbs in this fundraiser, which is interesting. And then this would be changed. I haven't used this version in a while, but you would put it up to 150 because we now have the Stargaze. And then it gives them just, this is spring buying season. Everyone likes them. Men, women, teens, remember Easter's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day is coming. This is, obviously, I was preparing before that time. And then it just gives them ideas of, where to show their packet to. And then I let them know that I will separate the orders myself. Now, this is a perk that I will tell you, every fundraiser that I've done, they've all been very happy and surprised that they don't have to do the sorting. Most fundraisers drop off all the product to the school or the whatever, and then the team has to go through it themselves. If you choose to put the work in and do this, you will guarantee yourself another fundraiser. Just think of it as just a huge party that you did. And when you package everything up separately and make it look pretty and make it personal, you have the opportunity to put flyers in the package, put a business magnet so they can slap that in on their refrigerator, so you get return customers. And then you could do some type of an incentive if you want. Top seller will receive, you discuss that with the coordinator, and then all of your information. And then I just plug in the Facebook name of the link that you're going to put for them and your website. So I'm going to get out of this, see if there's anything else I can. So that's a version of a fundraising packet proposal. Then I have this version. I'm not sure if this one's going to open. It's not going to open, is it? Let's see. Yeah, I can read only. All right, so this was, I did last year. So this one actually is for a lot more information for, you can put this in the packet for the fundraisers. So it gives them just information on the products, how will this work, it breaks it down. Each participant will receive a fundraising packet that is numbered. let's see, what's information that we need to talk about. So I was able to do with this one, it was my son's school, so I offered 50%. Again, don't think that you have to do that, you guys. It took me a long time to be able to start, you know, pulling money from my sponsoring bonuses to be able to be still like, not, you know, be able to take that money out and still be able to pay my bills and all this, all my business expenses and stuff like that. It took me a long time to be able to do that. So don't think that you have to do that in order to get fundraisers at all. The thing is you need to be clear to them that you're donating basically 100% of your commission. That's what really sells the fundraiser. Because if you say, I'll give you 20%, they think you're giving them 20% of your commission. So make sure that's very clear, because there are lots of other, not a lot, but like Pampered Chef does some fundraising and they give 50%, but they give 50% of their commission. So you have to make that very clear, because they're going to say, oh, well, Pampered Chef said they would give us 50%. You can say, okay, well, that's 50% of their commission. I'm giving you 100% of my commission. So make sure that they're very clear of that. And then I just give them little tips of please track your order forms on the outside of the envelope. Let's see. Now, online orders, ouch. Oh, I just stubbed my toe on my, ouch, sorry guys. You're gonna get a lot of online orders. I mean, obviously that's the hopes, coming randomly. You can do a couple things. You can ask them if they want to have a link per kid or one link for the whole organization. Now, if they don't think they're going to do more than up to $200, then they shouldn't have their own link. But if that's what their goal is going to be, and they're like, no, we're all going to hit our goal. Obviously, we all know that's a qualified party. It can be closed that way. But you won't be able to close the order if they only sell, you know, a couple things and maybe get one online order and it's not 200. So unless you have some other outside orders that come through from your other customers that you want to throw on the fundraiser just to make it qualified and so you can close it, I would give a link just for the organization. Now, be very clear that you're tracking all website orders that come through that link, but there's going to be people that sometimes don't go through the link that are given to them and they just go to the website somehow. I don't even know how that works. I mean, it's so simple. All they do is click on the link, but somehow I had probably about 3 or 4 that weren't attached to a link. So what you'll do is make sure you emphasize that they track on their online orders. Like have the people like in the comment or the post for their fundraiser on Facebook with the link, say, please let me know if you place an order. Because if they don't know that that's their family member and it's not on, we can't claim it to that packet, if that makes sense. Like I can't give that child credit for that order if you're not tracking it yourself, because I don't know Joe Schmo from, you know, Adam. So, and then especially if they don't attach it to the website, I mean, to the link of the fundraiser, it's going to be very hard. So what I do with those people, I create a group link on, it's called Remind. It's a school app. Most people that have kids have this here in Vegas at least, or some type of a group app. I create a group on the app and it's just those parents. And so I tell them, I'm coming to pick up the order tomorrow. I'll say, these are the names of the people that came through on the website. Please make sure you write down your person's name on your packet. Or if there's nothing claimed, I'll say, if this is a name that came through, not attached to the website, I don't know them, they're not my regular customer, please, you know, let me know if they are attached to your packet. I always include a example order form in the packet, the flyer of the month, any type of holiday brochure. And anyways, so frequently asked questions, I'll usually break that down. Can people order online? Yes, I'll put the link there. Will I pay tax? Yes. No, if you provide a tax exempt form. How long will it take to receive the products? Now, I would not, now I do tell the verbiage of 10 days after your order is shipped, but I usually say about 3 weeks, because depending on the size of the fundraiser, it's going to take you a while to sort, to, package everything, do all your fluff of flyers and labeling and all that stuff. And then you may work full-time or part-time. You can't just dive right into that fundraiser the second it comes in. So give yourself some leeway time. So if it comes in, let's say you place the order, like I just closed I have one more order to close today that's attached to the fundraiser. Today's Wednesday. If it comes next Wednesday, we'll say, I'm not going to tell them that it came in. I'm going to give myself the rest of that week. And then if I get it done, I will tell them that it's done early, but I am not going to rush myself on a fundraiser, because you're donating your time. It's free. You're not getting paid for the time you're putting in. So do not stress, but still do it. I would say 3 weeks would be the max as far as from the day you close it, because fundraisers, they expect to not get very fast. But when it comes to Scentsy fundraisers, people are really excited for their products. So they kind of get anxious after that 3rd week. And you want to be professional. So make sure that you plan that ahead before you start the fundraiser. Don't start a fundraiser if you don't think you're going to have time to do it, if you're leaving for 3 weeks or something. Does that make sense? I coordinated this one knowing that I would have all of next week that it's going to come in. I'm going to be gone for a week. And then if I'm not done with it before I leave for reunion, they're going to have to wait until I get back. And it'll still be within my 3-week window. Then I explain how, when they're going to get the money. So we get paid on the 10th of every month. It's very, 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 very important to do your best to try to start a fundraiser at the beginning of every month, because you want to give them about 2 weeks for the fundraiser. Then you want to give yourself another couple weeks to process everything. If you end up getting orders, like if you started one, I did this, just everything I learn is always by trial and error. One of my first fundraisers, I started it in the middle of the month, and then I still had like straggling orders coming through at the end of the month, and I wasn't able to get them in. So then I processed some of the other orders the next month. Now you're either going to end up having to front what you owe the fundraiser from the orders that came in on, the following month, and get paid for it that month afterwards, or you're going to have to tell them I can only pay you this much now for the orders that I closed in, let's say July, in August, and then say if I place some orders in August, I would have to give them the rest. And that's just not good for your business. That's gonna be very frustrating for them. Make sure that you explain that in the beginning when you're talking about the fundraiser. Just say, I get paid once a month. I have to get all the orders in by the end of the month, or else you'll have to wait another month for me to pay you. I don't want that to happen. So we'll have to start the fundraiser in the beginning of the month. And they usually are fine with that. And it usually works out fine. Then if you have straggling packets come in, like I'm actually picking up another packet on Monday because a lady didn't receive hers until like a week into the fundraiser. And so it still gave me time it's just one packet, so I can process it when I get it. And she's just going to get her stuff a little bit later, and she's fine with that. Okay. Where are we on time? Okay, we're about halfway in. These are just some benefits of Scentsy. It's affordability, safe temperatures, just kind of selling the product, especially if they've never used the product before. You'll be surprised when you do fundraisers how many people have never used Scentsy before. It blows me away. I love it because you meet those people, you get to introduce it to them. And then just some questions that people usually say. How does Scentsy compare to other candles? I give them a time frame, like a 14.5 ounce candle will burn for 65 to 90 hours at the cost of $21.99, which is about 24 cents per hour. One Scentsy bar will provide fragrance for 60 to 80 hours at the cost of $6, which is 6 cents per hour, without the hazard of flame, toxin, smoke, or soot. So that just really sells them on that if they don't already know the product. And these are just some questions that people usually ask. How long does the scent last? Contains 8 cubes of wax. Each cube will retain scent for 8 to 10 hours. You'll be surprised how many people really don't have any clue how Scentsy works. Like this question happened, they expect it to evaporate. So they're literally waiting around. So if you have customers that you haven't had that conversation with yet, you just assume that they know that how to change the wax, or that make sure you have the conversation with your customers, because you'll be surprised that you have customers that have been buying Scentsy with you, and they haven't changed their wax or they purchased once, and the only reason why they haven't called you or said they need new wax is because their wax hasn't evaporated, which is crazy. The scent is gone, but they're waiting for the wax to evaporate. It blows my mind. How can I clean my wax out of the warmer? You can give different examples. Like now we have the cleanup cotton thingies. I don't know what they're called, but anyways, you can add that in there. Does the warmer come with a light bulb? Yes, that's something that everybody asks. How long can we leave the warmer on? And then I just leave my information for any further questions. So this is what I put in every packet. Let's see. I'm going to show you an example of a parent letter that I put inside. This is a separate, sometimes I choose that type of form, or sometimes I choose an actual breakdown. So please read this before your fundraiser. And then you could see some of this verbiage is the same from others, and I just add, and then I'll just change the format. How will this work? It breaks down everything that I shared before. Packets are due to be turned into Coach Adarme. That's a volleyball coach that I do every year. On what date? Now the date is on the packet of what. Let me show you guys, if you've never done a fundraiser before, I'm going to show you what they look like. Let me stop screen sharing for a second. Okay, so this is a packet. It has a list where they can write down their person's name, whether they paid online or checks, cash. This helps you with like balancing everything out, that you should have this many checks in this packet. If it's not accurate, you can contact them. But right here, it says organization. So you write this in. So this is time consuming to set up for a fundraiser too. The student will be blank. Customer consultant's name, you'll write your name, and then order and money due on what date. And then you'll write again, make checks payable to. Again, if it's a nonprofit, then you'll put the organization's name. But if it's not, you'll put your name. Then you'll write what packet number out of how many. So a good example, I brought 25, but only, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people participated this month. In September, I think there was close to like 15 out of the 25 that participated. So just expect that. If there's 40 kids that participate, expect that you're going to have a little less than half, and a good fundraiser, you're lucky if you get half of them to actually fundraise. So that's just something that we all go through. Don't think that because I've been doing this longer and I've been doing this on a regular basis that I get 40 packets back and they're all at $500. That's not the case. I've done fundraisers that one package showed up and it wasn't even a qualified party. And I put in I think I literally prepared 80 packets for a daycare center here in Vegas, and they didn't even get a qualified party out of it. And I found out is because they weren't, they didn't do anything before to, I asked them to set up a meeting with the parents so I can talk to the parents. So if you could do that, I strongly, strongly recommend to talk to the organization of whoever's going to be participating. You're able to talk to them, tell them, that's something that I do with every organization since that was in like 2012. It was the first one that I didn't get to talk to the parents, and that was the result of it. So now if I'm not able to talk to the participants, then I won't do the fundraiser because it's not worth my money that I'm putting into it and my time. Let's see. The back of the fundraiser has fundraising instructions. It's the same type of thing. Please fill out one order form per customer. Order forms are provided by your independent Scentsy consultant. Please include each customer's name, address, phone number, and email. Use this envelope to track sales and to store complete order forms and payments. Then it talks about calculating sales tax on their order form is easy. Gives an example. Sometimes it just depends on if I've done the organization or not before. If I've never fundraised with them before, this one, all these people I just fundraised with in September. They were all the same parents, so they know the drill. But if it's a new fundraiser, I'll cross this out and I will put the percentage of their tax and I'll highlight it. Okay. This says, please leave the shipping field blank and inform customers that shipping costs may apply and will communicate at time of delivery. So that's kind of to cover your butt if it doesn't become a qualified packet or something. Now, if you combine packets together, it might be qualified. So that's usually what I do. I don't like, make them pay shipping, and it's just a headache to me. Payment is due when the customers place their orders, not when product is delivered. That's important because a lot of times there are fundraisers out there that do that, which there isn't a lot. Most people that do fundraisers are used to paying up front, so that's not a big deal. But that just make sure you go over that with them. Inform customers that their order should be delivered within 3 weeks of the fundraiser deadline. Upon completion of the fundraiser, please return this envelope with completed order forms and payments to the independent consultant. So with all this, it says it in my breakdown to my parents. I still get order forms back with just Susan and nothing else. And so, it's sad because they're introducing products to these people that they're not going to be able to know how to contact. Now, granted, you label everything. You give a business magnet to a fundraiser because most likely you're not going to get the contact information back. So you have to kind of just assume so. And try to give as much way for them to contact you as possible. You may want to do like a little fundraising flyer that says how to like you on your business page. Any way that they can reach out to you and get, to be able to reorder for them. Now, when it comes to fundraisers and they know they're going to be fundraising again, these parents, they kind of they're like, oh, well, I don't want them to order because this is the way they think. I don't want them to order with you again because I want them to not order until I fundraise again in September. It's kind of selfish, but I get it. They don't want them to be spending money on Scentsy when they may not be ready for more products in September. That's the way they think. And then we just have to bug the parent basically. I had an order that it didn't come in a scent that they wanted in a car bar. I had no way to contact the customer, so I had to contact the parent, and she had to contact. It was like I was like, I have no information, so I'm sorry for you to be the middleman, but I need to know what they want. If for some reason you can't get a hold of the parent, then just choose for them. It's a fundraiser. Do you know what I mean? That they should have read those stuff. They should have listened at the meeting, and they should have, read all the stuff on the package. You'll also find that people order stuff if they're already a regular Scentsy purchaser that they like to buy. They don't even look at the flyer. it blows my mind. I got 2 bars ordered that were from the fall, and that totally tells me that they didn't even look at the flyer, because they would know that it's not available. So this is this spring season, and there's a list of all of them on here. Now, I choose the showcase brochure fundraiser. The reason why is I'm not going to stop somebody from buying a $150 Stargaze warmer. I mean, diffuser, which somebody did in this fundraiser. She purchased the diffuser, the Stargaze one, which is $150, and she bought 3 oils. So that's just one person. So I'm not going to limit and give them. I personally don't want to do a Scent Circle fundraiser, because that's going to limit your sales. Now, the only time I recommend those type of fundraisers is if you're doing like a school-wide fundraiser when you have like 900 packets going out. That is going to be way too overwhelming for you, and and for even just the customers. Oh my gosh, everybody. My mom is texting me. Everybody that knows that she should be on this call. She's a Scentsy consultant. Anyways, so yeah, Scent Circle, Scent Pack, Buddy Clip fundraisers, they're all cute. They're all great. It works. But I honestly wouldn't hurt your opportunity to get higher purchases unless you're doing something like over 100 packets, I would say. Now, this has everything in your catalog but your combine and saves. The reason why is we don't want to give people a discount on a fundraiser because it's going to lower the cost. Now, you'll also get orders back with a 6-pack with $30, because you know that they already buy. They're already Scentsy purchasers, so they just write in their own price because they know that's available. Now, I'm not going to go, oh, sorry, I can't, I just, whatever, that has nothing to do with me. It's just hurting that person's, I tell the parent, do not, don't put in bundles. Everything's a la carte, everything's retail. But if they still let the person write down their order that way, then they're just going to lose out on their donation. That's pretty much it. But this is so professional and beautiful. So I mean, there's like, you get like 25 for like, oh gosh, not a lot, like $3 or something like that. It's ridiculous. $6. So worth it. And then your envelopes, you could buy 25 for like, I think it's like $6 or so. It's not a lot. I should know, but I can't even think about it right now. And like I said, I do 10 of these order forms per packet, and then I leave more order forms at the organization. So if somebody's just going gangbusters and selling like crazy, I tell them, to tell that they can get more order forms from the organization. Remember to always either stamp or put, a label on this order form, because when they give their customer when they place their order, you want them to be able to contact you. I've had people contact me to change their order, to add to their order, which is awesome. And I've never had anybody cancel the order, which is awesome. But on the back of the order form, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at this, but this is for any order, whether it's fundraising or, regular orders. They have the option to cancel their order. And so when you're doing a party or whatever, you want to write a date in of when you're going to close the order. So you could put, this one is an empty packet. So, but I put, when I'm closing the order, I will put that date of like 2 days after I receive the packets, because it's going to take me at least 2 days to process all the orders and stuff. And then that just says that they can call me and cancel. Now, that's why I'm going to kind of combine some other training in here. When we don't get paid and nothing's official until the 10th of the month, is because there are people that cancel orders sometimes. And so say an essential consultant becomes certified at the end of the month because they got an order, but then on the 3rd of the month, that customer calls and cancels her order. Now she's not certified because that PRV is gone. So that's why they don't do anything as far as promotions or your it takes it till at least the 10th of the month. We tend to get paid a little early sometimes, but they don't promise anything until the 10th of the month because it takes that long to kind of make sure everything's official. Okay, so as I open each packet, what I'll do is I create a spreadsheet. I create a spreadsheet that, let me screen share again. I could show you an old one. The one I'm doing right now, I didn't, where is this? There we go. Let's see. Oh, this is the one I'm doing right now. I saved it to my dock because I was working on my other computer. So I'll show you guys exactly how I track everything. Sorry, my computer takes forever to open sometimes. Okay. Okay, so I will create a spreadsheet with each tab down here is the kid's name and the packet number. And then up at the top, I will put the customer's name, what the subtotal is, because the subtotal is what they get paid as. Now let me get on the proper, let me show you okay, this packet. So this is how much they get paid at. What our commission is off is the subtotal. They paid this much because I like them to see that, because some customers come back and go, oh, my grandma said she spent $67 or $64, but I tell them that the order was only 60. If they call me and they go, oh, or they text me, did you get an order from Janet Campo for $64? I'll say, yeah. Or they'll ask me how much it was or something online, and I'll say 60. Because that's how much they're going to get their donation off of. And they'll say, oh, she said it was $64.95. And I'll say, well, that's how much she paid with, you know, tax or whatever. I show how they paid. The donation, and this is a formula that I do, this equals the sum, the C2, this is where this spot is, and then I multiply it by the commission amount. So I'm giving 40% for this fundraiser. And this is the amount that they're going to be paid on, and this is the total donation for this packet. Same thing like this. They did a lot more fundraising, so she's gonna get a donation of $268.50 because she sold over $600. And then my notes is always just if they paid a check, I have a check there. I put their check number, so they know that everything is very broken down for them and how they get it. Now, and then these are miscellaneous online orders that haven't been claimed yet. So I start tracking them, and I send them a spreadsheet in that little group text of these are people that haven't been claimed. Make sure that you write them down on your packet. Otherwise, they won't be claimed towards your order, towards the fundraiser. Oh, that's something else. This is just me adding up my checks. These are all the checks I got. Make sure that it calculates to what I get. And then these are my fundraiser totals for the organization. So Annabella, her sales total was this at 40%. This is how much she got. So this is a total check price that I'm going to be, as far as a donation that I'm going to be giving them. Okay. And what I do is on every order, I put everybody's order in a box with their name on it. And then I will print this out and have this, basically, taped to the box, as well as I will take a photocopy of this and I will tape it to the box as well. So they see exactly what I'm working off of. Now, this right here, you can see this lady, she wrote in that this person purchased online. And when I was going through her, all the online orders, there was no person even that wasn't connected. I didn't get any online order from this person. And so I let her know that, well, apparently this person purchased under a different name. And so I just wanted her to know that I'm on her side. I'm doing everything, you know, crossing my T's, dotting my I's, and I'm not trying to jip her out of an online order. And so she came back and she's like, oh, well, she said she ordered on this date and this is how much. And I said, well, I don't have anything at that price. So when she told me how much, I said, I have a Melissa Hendrick. And she goes, oh, that's what she must have ordered under. I was like, so there's, as you can see, there's a lot of troubleshooting sometimes you have to go through with fundraising. So that's why you want to give yourself plenty of time to collect random, you know, the straggling packets. Like the date to pick them up was the 15th. Well, today's the 17th, and I was supposed to pick up this packet today, but the studio's closed. So now I have to wait till Monday to pick it up. But I still have, you know, a good week to do that. If I would have had the fundraiser start in the middle of the month, I would have come into some trouble, right? And also you want to give yourself plenty of time to get through all this troubleshooting as far as these packets. Like I said, one lady ordered something that it doesn't come in that product, and so I had to wait for her to contact me. And so you just give yourself plenty of time so you don't have to stress about getting things in at the right time. Let's see, we've got like 10 minutes. Do you guys have any questions so far? Fundraising's a big deal. There's a lot to it, but it's so worth it because you get customers you never would have had. I mean, you get this. Now, I will tell you, there are going to be, the majority of customers are going to be one-time purchasers. Because we have a very popular sales product, a lot of customers will buy just for the fundraiser, but they have a Scentsy consultant. Now, what I do is if I have their contact information, I will contact them, let them know, you know, once their order is delivered, I'll say, you know, I just want to make sure, you know, you're happy with your order, everything's good, just like I would a normal order. And then I say, and I know that a lot of people buy Scentsy regularly and they already go through a normal Scentsy consultant. Do you already have your own personal Scentsy consultant? And they'll tell me, yes, I do. This was a one-time purchase. I'm good. I just saw a chat here. Yes. So each participant gets one packet. And then so then it's like each student per se, like this is Avery's packet and she gets one packet. Now, I'm glad you asked that question. Some parents will want 2 packets because they, like, dad wants to bring the packet to his work and mom wants to bring one to her work. So you can ask that at the parent meeting, just saying, you know, if you want more than one packet, you're welcome to check more than one out. If you feel that your 2, you know, people are going to be passing, you know, bringing them to different places. So that's a good question. Let me see. I forget what I was saying. I forget. There was something I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, we were talking about new business, like new people on. I have customers that I met from fundraisers in 2012 that they're still my customer today just because they purchased one time. So it's all about the follow-up and the consistency. So you can get yourself a very consistent client if you want, is if you take the time. Now, there's a lot of follow-up involved. So you don't hurt yourself, stress yourself out, because if you have, I mean, look at how many customers are just on this one packet. That's a lot of people to follow up with. So pace yourself, but put it in your calendar, because if you don't, people will just, you know, you'll drop the ball on all these people. And it could be reoccurring purchases. Now, statistically, people tend to reorder in their first 70 days, especially if they're new to Scentsy. So I'm not 7 days, excuse me, 7 days. So your follow-up is very important if you have their contact information. And so because there are a lot of fundraisers out there that there really isn't a way for the consumer just to reorder. It's only a fundraising product, like gift wrapping, or, I mean, I'm sure you can go online and buy it from that, but they don't generally go to rebuy for that purpose. They will only buy once a year with the fundraiser. But since our products are products that are consumable, they want to know how they can get their Scentsy. So make sure that you let them know that you want to serve them and give them customer care. Now, this kind of a packet, okay? This is over a $600 packet. This is somebody I'm going to talk to about joining, because she has plenty of customers that can reorder from her. And if she's struggling with paying her dance fees, she can be getting at least, you know, it's almost $300 she's getting as a donation, at least every couple months towards her dance fees by reordering, just reorders for these people. So this is another way you find team members, because there are so many customers. You're going to need help keeping up with all these people, because there's only a certain amount of customers that you have until it's very hard to keep up with good customer care. It doesn't matter how great you are, doesn't matter how much you want to, but you have a family, you might have school or a job, or you have other things. So if you're just gathering all these customers and you have like 400 customers or more, and you're not getting help by having them become consultants and taking care of their people, it's going to get very overwhelming, and you're not going to give good customer care. And that's why we encourage recruiting, because Scentsy gets a bad rap, because people say, yeah, I ordered and I never heard from my consultant again. And so they stop buying because of that. Not because they don't love the product, it's because they're not getting service. So think about that. If you are doing a fundraiser, you want to make sure that you're doing it with the intentions of finding team members. Now, this person may not want to join, but at least you want to make sure you give them the opportunity. Because say she says no, and she does a fundraiser with me in September, maybe that'll convince her, like, wow, I just did another $600 to $700 packet. Maybe I should join. Another lady, she had around $500. She fundraised last time, and she did the most last time. So I asked her again about joining, and she said, I told her about the host kit. I said, usually I keep this is something you guys need to know. You keep your rewards, the half off and the free credit, because that's how you pay yourself back. So you can make some money on the back end by selling those products off. So you have to think about this. You're losing those rewards from that packet if you let them use the host kit to join. I was willing to do that. I was okay with it. She said, not right now, but continue to ask me. She said, can I, maybe later? I said, absolutely. It's always going to be available to you. Now, when it comes to rewards, I would definitely think about ahead of time, what do I need? Yes, of course, your own personal consumption stuff, you get all this stuff for free. But what I like to do is think about, like, I send out a scent circle and a car bar to every online order, because they just spent like $8 on shipping. So I'm going to reward them with shopping online. And so I will get a bunch of 6-packs of scent circles and car bars with my free credit. So I can do that. And I do that with all my online orders, not just fundraisers. So it's never out of my pocket. I'll also stock up on light bulbs, because you always can use light bulbs. And half off items. Now, when you're doing a fundraiser, you want to think about, will you have the funds to take all these half off items? Because it can add up. When you have like 14 half off items, that's a lot. It can add up to a lot of money. So you may want to think about, what can I invest as far as with my half off items? And if you can't invest all of them, I had so many, honestly, I might be moving. I don't want to be spending money on products that I'm going to have to pack up anyways. So I reached out to my really, 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 really loyal and longtime clients and offered them half off items. And one of my ladies, she actually asked if she can use 3. And she is such a loyal, buys all the time. I'm willing to give her 3 half off items. So she got 3 warmers half off. And then she ordered some light bulbs, since she was placing an order anyways. So yes, I'm going to lose the sale on because I don't get PRV, but now she has 3 more warmers in her home that she's going to need wax for. So that's going to up the sale later on. And so you're giving more than taking, and you get rewarded in the back end. So you can do a little text or you can't market this on Facebook. Hey, I have free half off items for you. But text people, call them personally, whatever. And it's a really good way to, show your appreciation and introduce that you do fundraising, or remind them that you do fund. Hey, I'm closing a fundraiser. I have like 6 half off items. Do you want one? Do you want to use one? So it's a really great way to get rid of the half off items. And then I would just do half off on, if all worst case scenario, you can't get rid of your half offs, you don't have the money, use your light bulbs, stock up on light bulbs to get rid of them. You end up spending $5 for 5, light bulbs or something, because you have to get rid of them. So this is the process of, as far as processing fundraisers. I would go onto my YouTube channel under the playlist under fundraising and watch, because I have some when I'm actually like, when I am packaging the orders, I share some tips of why I do things, what I'm doing it for, all that kind of fun stuff. Sometimes, depending on like my big fundraisers, which I do for the school that I've been doing for a while, I actually go out of my way and create like a flyer that I make just for that fundraiser. And it's like a flyer, it's a fundraising, like thank you, information, join, host, like brochure. But I don't do that for all fundraisers, because it's a money out of my pocket. So I share that on those different videos. But this was a lot of information. This is recorded. It's going to be, I'm going to post it to YouTube on my channel again, so you can watch it again, and you can also watch. Oh my gosh, I just realized I never shared this to the Facebook page. Oh well, they'll watch the recording. Anyways, so you can unmute yourself if you have any questions or comments. Hi, Cindy.
Hey, so if it's like a smaller fundraiser, do you include like warmer of the month, scent of the month, brochures, and maybe a thank you card?
Yeah, they have. I pretty much make sure that they know what's available. The only thing I wouldn't include is things that might like sell out. Like I didn't tell them about like the Simba or the Woody at the time, because those are something I can't guarantee. But we know that at least during the warmer of the month, at least during that month, it'll be available, at least for that month. Even if it sells out by, the end of the month. So, and then a thank you card, you could buy them. You can get like 100 for a very small amount in the Scentsy Success store that says how much donation that the organization received. Or if it's by packet, you can go like, Ella, received this much donation for her dance fees or whatever, and it says thank you, and you can slap your label on it. So yeah, there's a lot of cute little ways to do it. And then if you don't want to spend the money, you can just write a little note, especially if it's a small one. But if it's going to be more than like 100 orders that you're going to go, you might want to purchase the little cards so it's not so much on your end. Good question.
Not to include the bundle and save, correct?
No, do not, because it's going to lose money for the donation. Yeah. But process it if the order comes back as a bundle.
That way?
Yeah. So like they literally went to the bracket $30. I was like, okay, this is a Scentsy person, meaning they buy Scentsy on a regular basis. It's kind of funny though, because I have a good amount of team members here in Vegas. I have a lot of people that will text me and go, my customer cheated on me with your fundraiser, because they'll find like one of my bars or something. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm like, but hey, you know what? I always am able to congratulate them. I'm like, they are loyal to you because I've called them and said, do you have? And they're like, nope, I'm good. Leave me alone. And I'm like, well, excuse me. And then I'm able to call that person and say, you're doing awesome, because your customer was like, no, I have a consultant. So that's awesome.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I gotta go because I'm going to Bible study. So goodbye.
Okay.
Hi, Jamie.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Did you have any questions, Jamie? Or I just unmuted you.
I probably have a lot, but I'm going to have to write myself a question list.
Okay, yeah, no problem. And then if you want, you can set up time with me so we could just chat about them. I'd be happy to. Do you have any fundraisers that you might be doing or?
Well, one of my daycare parents, I actually have two daycare parents. One's that's a principal and the other one is a elementary school teacher here in Mountain's Edge. So I've already talked to her and she said she knows several teachers that would utilize me for fundraisers. So yeah,
Hey.
so I want to make sure I know everything before I put myself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, watch this again, jump on the YouTube channel and see what you can, and then if you type in fundraising and fundraiser in the training center, you're going to get tons of training from other people. So you can kind of just pick from other, you know, what you like they do, what they do, you know, what works for you, all that kind of fun stuff. Because, you know, you may feel that you may like a style that they do better than the way I do it. And just, you know, so just jump on there and then write your notes down and questions, and then we can get together and I'd be happy to, you know, go over any questions you have or.
Okay. I actually have already started watching some of your videos, like one by one. I already have like 3 pages of notes. So.
Oh, awesome. Okay,
Chris
cool.
will tell you I'm a note taker. So I take lots of notes so I can go back and read them.
That's me too. I have like, if you saw my notebook of all my, all my notes, it's so I'm that way. I have to write it down and then it helps me remember, but then I have to be able to go back to read it because as soon as I write it down, I forget it, I think.
Could you send me that template that you showed us tonight of the promotional letter just so I can look at something to kind of draft up for myself?
Absolutely. I'll send you the several different styles and you can kind of like see which way you like it or add or make your own up and stuff. So
okay.
Cool.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right, you're welcome. I'm glad to finally see you.
I know. Well, I've been diving head. I've had a really good month this month. I've already done like $624 in sales. And I have a party on the 27th still, so I'm super excited.
That's awesome, and that is so cool, especially for July. People always say, "Oh, can't do good in July," and look at you rocking it. That's
well,
awesome.
I've been kind of cheating because I've been looking at your Facebook business page because I'm trying to set mine up. Well, mine's set up, but there was a lot that I didn't know that you could put in those. So I've kind of been taking notes off of your page.
Awesome.
So I hope you don't mind. I'm kind of like,
Absolutely.
I'm making it mine, but I'm looking at your tabs to kind of see how you're doing things.
Yes, absolutely. And there's so much that I don't even know too. Like that's like, I mean, I'm so not even that good in marketing, but yeah, the stuff that I've done, I had somebody help me do because I have no idea. But so anything, yeah, I always say whatever I post or anything that's out there, that's all for you guys. You never have to hesitate to ask me to use. Your success is all I want.
I'm super excited. When I was watching one of your videos today, I don't remember which one, but it was on the Facebook business page. And you it was the AnyFlip doing the catalog books on digital catalog books. And you said, make sure when you set up your business page name, not to include just like with Scentsy. And that's how I had mine set up. I had Jamie Austin with Scentsy and I was like, oh no. So I stopped the video and went and changed it.
Yeah, it's because Scentsy's it's their legal name and people think you're like the company. And that's how I learned is I had mine like that. And my sponsor, my first week, she's like, Jess. And I was like, she's like, everybody thinks you're Scentsy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't even thought of that. But yeah. So everything has to say independent consultant.
I went and changed it. I was like, I hope she hasn't been seeing all my Facebook posts.
No, I didn't catch that. That's awesome. Yay.
I'll be watching the videos.
Okay, perfect. And you can, you're welcome to message or text me with anything as you go. So I'm really excited for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thanks for being on live with me. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good rest of your night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.